Right now at 5:30, they help keep you cool in the blistering summer. But right now, heating companies are sweating out a shortage of HVAC technicians. According to a recent survey, there are approximately 110,000 unfilled HVAC technician jobs in the U.S. That's 38% short of the number needed to fill the workforce. In addition, 8% are leaving the industry early. Fox's Danny Maston went digging for answers into this trend and what's being done to stop it. She's joined us live now with what she has uncovered, Danny.
Well, Jacqueline, along with the need for HVAC workers, I learned there is also a need for plumbers. The National Technical Institute here in Henderson is training and getting students certified to work in both of these industries in just 3 to 4 months.
A working sink with running water is a necessity, but when something breaks, finding a technician can sometimes be difficult.
Sinks and garbage disposals, something really easy, and then we'll move on to toilets.
Plumbing student Josiah Menendez explaining to me the hands-on work he is doing at the NTI to get into the workforce.
Anywhere you go, there's going to be a big plumbing need because a lot of the plumbers are actually retiring and there's not many people going into it right now.
NTI teaches 3 trades, HVAC, plumbing, and electrical. CEO of NTI tells me they are seeing the biggest need in the plumbing and HVAC industries, especially with more homes and properties being built.
We have this workforce that we haven't trained to help keep all of the systems that keep everything working. We don't have the people coming into the trades to be able to keep those going.
Each program for these trades are fast-tracked and completed within 8 to 16 weeks.
We've gone through all the basics you need to know for being a plumbing apprentice, which is a great thing, and most programs don't really give you the great basics like this program does.
The courses cost between $6,000 and $10,000, and while the NTI doesn't accept student loans, they are VA approved and work with third-party private lenders to get loans to help pay for students' schooling.
We try not to turn anybody away. If they don't have the opportunity to pay for it, we try very hard to figure out a way to say, hey, come to class anyway.
The NTI in Las Vegas had 700 students graduate last year and have about 300 people enrolled at any given time. The graduation rate is 99.9%, and 90% are getting employed in these trades.
Once students complete the program, they will receive a certificate, and the school works with over 200 contractors within the valley to hire their graduates. Reporting live in Henderson, I'm Danny Maston, Fox 5 News, Local, Las Vegas.